The noises will come. Do not open the door. Listen to me carefully. This is not a story. This is not imagination. This is a warning. Have you felt it lately? That strange heaviness at night? When the house is quiet but your heart is not? When you wake up for no reason, and something inside you whispers that something is not right? Why now? Why this feeling that something is approaching? You look at your children, your grandchildren, and a fear rises that you cannot explain. A fear that something could reach them, that something could enter your home. And what if it doesn't come as darkness? What if it comes as a voice, calling your name? What if you hear someone you love, your daughter, your husband, your mother, outside the door? What would you do? Would you open? Or would you hesitate, just for 1 second? Because this is how it begins. Not with violence, not with fire, but with confusion, with familiar voices, with urgency, with something knocking again and again, asking you to open, and everything inside you will want to respond. Everything will tell you, open, help them, don't ignore it. But what if that voice is not who it says it is? What if opening that door is the one mistake you cannot undo? I am speaking to you as a mother, as someone who knows what it means to protect a family. There are moments in history when heaven does not whisper, it warns. And this feels like one of those moments. You are not here by accident. You are hearing this because your soul is already awake. Because deep inside, you know something is coming. But listen, do not be afraid without guidance, because there is a way to protect your home. There is a way to stand firm, even when everything outside is trying to break your peace. At the end of this message, I will show you exactly what to do, how to prepare your house, how to protect your family, how to close the door, not just physically, but spiritually. Stay with me. Do not leave, because what you hear next may be the difference between fear and protection. Because what you hear next may be the difference between fear and protection. And this is not the first time heaven has warned humanity in a way people could not ignore. Go back for a moment to a small place in Portugal, Fátima, year 1917. It was October. The air was cold. Heavy clouds covered the sky like a thick grey blanket. Rain had been falling for hours, turning the ground into mud, thick sticky mud that clung to shoes, to clothes, to hope itself. And yet, they came. Not 10, not 100, 70,000 people. Mothers holding children close to their chests. Old men leaning on canes. Women with rosaries wrapped tightly around trembling fingers. Believers and skeptics, all standing under the same dark sky. They were soaked, cold, waiting. Some prayed, some mocked, some whispered, nothing will happen. But deep inside, many felt that same tension you feel now, that sense that heaven was about to break the silence. And then it happened. The rain stopped, not slowly, suddenly. The clouds began to tear open, like a curtain being pulled back, and the sun appeared. But it was not the sun they knew. It began to spin. Yes, spin, like a wheel of fire in the sky, faster, brighter, pulsing with colors no one could explain. Yellow, blue, red, flashing over the entire crowd, painting faces, clothes, the wet earth beneath their feet. People froze, then they screamed. Some fell to their knees in the mud, crying, confessing sins out loud. Others reached for their children, holding them tightly as if the world itself was ending. Because then, the unthinkable, the sun, began to fall. It detached from the sky and came down in a terrifying zigzag motion, as if it would crash into the earth at any second. 70,000 people saw it. 70,000 hearts stopped at once. You could hear the cries, "Mercy! My God, forgive me! We are going to die!" Men who had laughed minutes before were now weeping like children. Women covered their faces. Some tried to run, but where could they go? The light grew stronger, the heat intensified, and in that moment, every soul was exposed. No masks, no distractions, only truth. And then, just as suddenly as it began, the sun returned to its place. The sky calmed, silence. But nothing was the same. The ground that had been mud was dry, completely dry. Clothes that had been soaked were now clean, warm, and the people were changed because they had seen something real, not a rumor, not a story, a sign, a warning, a mercy. And many understood in that instant that heaven does not act without reason, that when signs are given, it is because something deeper is at stake, something eternal. Now listen to this with your heart open. Just as heaven shook the sky then, now it may shake the silence outside your door. Just as heaven shook the sky then, now it may shake the silence outside your door. And this is what you must do. Listen slowly. Do not rush this, because this is not superstition. This is obedience born from faith. When the noises come, when something knocks, when a voice calls your name from outside, you do not open, not out of fear, but out of trust, because the first door you must protect is not the wood of your house, it is the door of your soul. Fear will knock first, urgency will follow, confusion will try to enter, and if fear enters, peace leaves. So you begin here. Step 1, bless the entrance. Take holy water with your own hands, not mechanically, but with intention. Make the sign of the cross on your door, slowly, firmly, as if you are marking that space for God alone. This is not a symbol, this is a declaration. This home belongs to the Lord, because Scripture says, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?" Psalm 27:1. You are not sealing wood, you are sealing authority. Step 2, light the candle. Not any light, a blessed candle. Place it where your family can see it. Let its flame stand in the center of your home, because that flame is not just wax and fire, it is a sign. Christ said, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness." John 8:2. When darkness presses from outside, you answer with light from within. Do not underestimate this. Darkness cannot remain where light is welcomed. Step 3, take the rosary. Hold it, feel it. Do not rush. Each bead is not repetition. It is a step in a chain of light. A chain that wraps around your home, your children, your grandchildren. When you pray the rosary slowly, with attention, you are not alone. Heaven listens. The Blessed Mother intercedes. And what is weak in you becomes strong through grace. Do not pray in panic. Pray with surrender. Even if your voice trembles, continue. Because faith is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to remain even when fear is present. Step 4, reject the voice. If something calls from outside, no matter how familiar, no matter how urgent, you do not respond, you do not answer, You do not open, because not every voice that sounds familiar is truth. This is the test, not of your hearing, but of your obedience. Will you trust what you feel or what you were told? Will you follow instinct or faith? Closing the door is not weakness. It is an act of spiritual authority. It is saying, I choose God over what I do not understand. Step 5. Offer your home out loud with your own words. Lord, this house is yours. Protect every soul inside. Cover us with your presence. You do not need perfect words. You need a sincere heart. Because protection is not magic. It is relationship. It is trust placed where it belongs. Now understand this deeply. There are 2 doors, the one outside and the one inside you. You can close the first and still leave the second open. If you let anxiety grow, if you let doubt take root, if you begin to question, fear will enter anyway. And once fear enters, it spreads. So guard your interior, guard your thoughts. Return to the prayer, return to the flame, return to the rosary, again and again and again. Because this is how protection is built, not in one moment, but in faith repeated, in trust renewed, in a heart that refuses to open to anything that does not come from God. This is the protection you were waiting for, not complicated, but demanding, not loud, but powerful. And if you remain, if you do not open, if you pray, nothing that comes from darkness will have permission to enter. And if you remain, if you do not open, if you pray, then listen to me now, because this is where everything becomes urgent. Mexico, can you hear this? Colombia, are you still listening? Spain, do not turn away now. All across Latin America, this is not just a message, this is a call to those who still believe, even if their faith feels weak. Look around you. Violence has entered places that were once safe. Streets you used to trust now carry fear. Homes that should be refuges are filled with tension, silence, distance. Families breaking, children growing up without prayer. Grandchildren who no longer know how to make the sign of the cross. And you see it, you feel it, that quiet pain in your chest when you realize they are drifting away. Faith is not being attacked loudly anymore. It is being erased slowly, quietly, daily. Distractions, noise, indifference, and little by little, God is pushed out, not with rebellion, but with forgetfulness. This is the time of the soul, not a time marked on calendars, but a moment where each heart must decide, will you remain, or will you let the door open, little by little, without even noticing, because the door of mercy is still open, but it will not remain open forever. Not because God stops loving, but because every soul must respond. And you were chosen to hear this, not by chance, but because you still carry something inside that has not died, a flame, small, maybe weak, but alive, and that flame can still protect your entire family. Do you understand what that means? One praying mother can change the destiny of her children. One faithful grandmother can bring back a soul that has been lost for years. You are not powerless. You have never been powerless. But you must act, not tomorrow. Now. Do not wait for your children to return to God. You go first. Do not wait for the world to become calm. You create peace inside your home. Do not wait until fear knocks loudly. Prepare before it arrives, because hesitation is how doors open, and today you cannot afford hesitation. Take the rosary, light the candle, bless your home, call your family to prayer, even if they resist, even if they do not understand, because love does not wait for permission. Love protects, love insists, love acts. This is your moment, not a moment of panic, a moment of decision. Will your home be a place of light or a place where darkness finds space? Will your voice be silent or will it rise in prayer? Will your faith remain hidden or will it stand even if no one else stands with you? Heaven is watching, not to condemn, but to see who will respond. And I tell you this with all the urgency of a mother calling her children home. Do not delay, do not ignore this, do not say later, because the soul does not live in later, it lives in now, and now is the moment you were given. And now, be still. Let your breathing slow down. You have heard the warning, you have received the instruction, but above all, you are not alone. Do you feel your heart? Place your hand over it gently. There, in that quiet space, God is still present. No matter how much noise surrounds the world, no matter what may come, darkness will not win. Listen carefully. Darkness has never won. Christ already won, not in noise, not in fear, but in silence, in sacrifice, in love. And that same victory can live inside your home, not because you are perfect, but because you are willing. Now, close your eyes for a moment. Do not rush. Just breathe and speak softly, either in your heart or with your lips. Lord, I am here. I am afraid, but I trust you. Enter my home. Stay with my family. Cover us with your light. Do not let anything enter that is not from you. I give you this house. I give you my loved ones. I give you myself. Stay there, just for a few seconds. Let that prayer settle, because something has already begun. Peace does not always arrive like a wave. Sometimes it comes like a quiet presence, and that presence is real. Now listen to me one last time, gently. You do not need to carry everything alone anymore. You are under a mantle of love that has not abandoned you. And even if the world becomes louder, your soul can remain in peace. Protect your home. Pray. Trust. And when fear tries to return, remember this moment. Return to it. You are not defenseless. You are not forgotten. You are loved. If this message reached you, it is because it was meant for you. So do one simple thing. Write in the comments, Mother, cover my home, and the name of your country. Let it be your act of faith, your quiet yes. And if you know someone, a daughter, a friend, a sister, who needs peace tonight, share this message with them. You may be the reason their fear turns into prayer. Stay close, stay faithful, and if you feel called, subscribe so you are never alone when the next message comes. Now go in peace, and may your home be filled with light.